My volume up. Sorry about my hand. Volume. I just did a whole video for you guys on strawberry pie filling. And this thing right here, with that green light on it, that green light wasn't on the whole time I did that video. And I always check it until today. So I'm just going to tell you, I'll put clips in because something very important happened during that video. And I was glad that it happened. Well, not really, but so that you knew. What I had was 5.5 quarts of my fresh strawberries. It was right about 7 pounds, tad over 7 pounds. I used 6 cups of sugar, 2 cups of clear gel, 4 cups of the strawberry juice, because what I did is I put 2 cups of sugar. I split it up into 3.5 pounds each in 2 different bowls. And then I put 2 cups of sugar in each one, shook it all up and let it sit at room temperature for a good hour, I think it was, maybe a little more, so that it created its own juice. And then a cup of lemon juice. So I did it the same way I did my blueberries and apple, where I put the water, because with that I got about 4.5 cups of juice from those strawberries, which always makes it better using its own juice. And then I added, what was it, 2.5, 5, 6, yeah, 2.5 cups more water. I think I could have used 3 cups more of water because it was really thick. But whatever. Once that starts baking, the strawberries are going to let off more juices. So I'm not worried about that. And it'll melt more, and it tasted wonderful. So I put that juice with the water. I put another 2 cups of sugar to total the 6, and I put the clear gel. I let that come to a boil, and it started thickening, and then I added my lemon juice, which was a cup, and I put that on a timer for a minute. And then I took it off the stove, because remember the other day when I did that, I wasn't fast enough to stir it and it started shooting up at me. So I just took it half off the stove, mix that in, put it back on, put my 1 minute timer on. When that went off, then I added all my strawberries, mixed them all in, and then I went through the process of filling my jars and whatnot. But when I got to the part where you're cleaning the top of the jar, make sure you get all the sugar off. I always use white vinegar for that, always. And I always get on the inside of the rim and the outside of the rim, not just the very top, because you never know, especially when you're working with sugar. And on my last jar, as I was going around, I noticed I had little tiny cracks of glass missing on the outside of the rim. So I had to chuck that jar. I had to take the stuff out of it, put it in another jar, and throw that jar away. It was an older jar that I had been given from my neighbor when he moved. I loved the jar because it was an older jar. But that's what you have to watch for also. Not just getting the crud off the top. You have to really watch for any cracks or glass missing, because it's really important. I could have lost all 7 of those. I got 6 quarts and 1 pint out of that. And you get, out of the normal amount, I get about 7 quarts. But I was shy a half a quart. So yeah, so you got to be careful. And I'll show little clips throughout this, but I figured I was so bummed because that was so good. Those strawberries look delicious. Didn't take any pictures. I mean, I have pictures of my strawberries before I cut them up and everything, but yeah, so now they're sitting in the water bath for 30 minutes. And then when you're done, take the lid off and let it sit in that water after you shut the stove off for a good 10 minutes or so. And always put them on a towel or, a wooden board, You don't want to take them right out of that hot liquid and put them onto a granite countertop because of the difference in temperature. So there's my strawberry pie filling. And the small jar, I threw the small jar in there too. I might as well just process it. It was a full one, so I'll use that one first. Anyway, so a little chit chat. I guess I can take these off soon that I'm not reading. It's overcast today. My pool's starting to turn green. My son, it rained for the last 2 days. Or yesterday and today. So my salt's not in there and my edges are starting to turn. I'm like, darn it, am I going to have to lift that 40-pound bag of salt? And I don't want them, my back. Oh, So anyway, in my video, I was telling you, I had went to Atlanta the other day for my doctor's appointment. And he was very happy with all my progress. He's the one who took my hernia out, a hiatal hernia, and asked if I'd had any problems with heartburn or anything. And I said, nope. And he says, do you have to take anything? I said, not since surgery. And he says, that's awesome. He says, and you look amazing. He says, he says, but you're not eating enough, you know, because we went through what I eat. If you only watch these videos, huh? You'd think with me eating all these things on this video, but I'm not getting enough nutrition because I have these spells. I'll just be sitting there and I'll just start breaking out in a sweat. And then all of a sudden I just start shaking my whole body. And I know I need protein. And he had me talk to the nutritionist also. And she's like, no, because I explained to her, my brother's diabetic, and I explained to her what happens to him. And she says, that's exactly what you need to do. When he goes through that, his sugar drops so low, sometimes 40, a little more than 40, and you can go into a diabetic coma like that. And she says, she says, grab a juice, pure juice with the sugar. And she says, don't drink the whole one because he'll drink a whole grape juice. And when he came here with my sister-in-law last year, or the beginning of the year, I stocked up on him for him just in case, you know, if he had that. Well, she says, yeah, get one of those. She says, don't drink the whole thing. That's a lot of sugar you don't need. She says, drink about a quarter of that. And within 5 minutes, you'll start feeling better. She says, and then follow up with some protein and get that evened out. So that's what I have to do. And then I've been having, I was diagnosed with vertigo, which is kind of crazy because I'm fairly healthy. So she gave me some pills for vertigo, and I've been taking them for a couple weeks now. And I really didn't see that they were helping until the other night. I said, well, I guess I really should start reading things because it says take every 8 hours as needed. I was taking them before I went to bed at night. Well, of course, I'm not going to feel a difference. I'm sound asleep. So I started taking one in the morning when I got up, right before my coffee. And then I still take mine at night at bed because I'd been going to bed. And as soon as I lay down, it's like somebody took my head and just spun it. And your first instinct is to close your eyes, but that actually makes it worse. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And you get nauseous. I mean, when you start spinning like that, I'm like, Lord, please don't ever let that happen to me when I'm driving. And I would pull right over because I know the feelings now. So I'm doing a little better. I don't have as much dizziness during the day now that I'm taking those pills in the morning. But then my primary care doctor said, your cholesterol's up a little bit again too. And I eat a lot of shrimp. Now, if you have high cholesterol, try to stay away from that shrimp because that's what does it to me. Because I'm not a huge meat eater or whatever. You'd think with all the junk I make that I eat a lot of that, but I don't. I mean, yeah, I do my taste test and stuff, but these days, over the last year and a half. So I meant to stay away from the fish for a good week before I had my blood test, and I didn't. So I've been kind of staying away from the shrimp as much. And when I say high, it was my total was 117. It used to be 146. So it's still way down. But I said, all right, I'll just take the pills for the next 6 months until my next test and see how that goes. And, watch what I'm eating and whatnot. But other than that, and then my vitamin D, because I'm deficient, most people are. I take 50,000 milligrams once a week. Even in the summer, and I'm a sun bunny in the summer because I get in that pool as much as I can, especially when my sister-in-law's here. So that girl will stay in that pool day and night. She's funny. I'm looking forward to her coming. She's coming the end of the month for 10 or 11 days. I love when she comes. We just veg out, go shopping, go to Goodwill. Goodwill's her favorite store. I have to hit every Goodwill here for her while she's here. She's hilarious. And she finds something almost every time. But, as I was losing weight too, I wasn't going to pay full price for clothes as I was dropping weight. I said, there's no sense, because then I just end up giving brand new clothes away. So I was going there and, I wasn't getting no ragtag clothes. I made sure they looked fairly new or whatever. And that's what I've been buying. Hey, why not? I mean, I'll pay $5, like these shorts I have on. I paid $5 for them. Actually, I paid $2.50 because I went for Senior Citizen Day. Go me. Yeah. And like this shirt I have on, I don't even think you've seen it, because how do you like that? Platform 9 3/4. So me and Harry Potter are going to hang out today. I'm going to go after the video. So anyway, this wasn't going to be a chit chat. It was going to be an actual video. And I took out my pizza crust to make my own pizza. Not sure how I want to do it. If I want to make a pizza or the cups like I did with the crescent rolls that day. I think I might just do that, because those were good and they stayed each bite was crispy because you had this little cup instead of this big old pizza. I took 2 crusts out, so maybe I'll just make him a pizza and I'll make one of those, the tins. I don't know. We'll see. But I have all my meat. Last week I had bought some sweet sausage and mixed that up. I cooked it and put it in the freezer. And the week before I had done the regular sausage because I couldn't find the sweet sausage. So I have both. I have my bacon. I have all my vegetables. Yeah, so what else is going on? It's turning out to be a beautiful day. I don't know what the weather is. Probably 70, 72. With a little overcast. Little breeze. It has been wicked breezy here for the last week. 4 or 5 days anyway. My broccoli, there's a head on it like this now, just in a few days. I had showed you in my last video. Crazy. So my son said, we're going to have to pick that one and use it, which is good because I need to pick the lettuce and use that too. Cut up my carrots the other day and make a salad. Because I didn't buy salad this week. I said, with those plants growing the way they are, I'll just use my own salad. Lettuce. So I got to do that before it starts raining again. And it may not. Let's see, was something. Oh yeah, me and my niece went shopping yesterday for about 4 hours and we had a good time. It was nice. Her son, Kaimani, the one I babysit for every now and then, he has pictures on Monday at his daycare. So she was over there picking out all the different little outfits, and he's such a doll. I love that kid. I know he's not my grandson, but my grandkids are in Texas, so I never get to see him. It's been 3 years since I've seen him. He's had 2 more since then. Oh, 1 more. The other one was a baby when we went there, literally just born. So we don't get to see him very often, just talking on the phone. So when Kaimani's here, I really enjoy it. And I'm not one to babysit. I have always been that, because I'm a mom of 1 child. So it's different. When you have more than 1 child, it's different. You're used to the noise of all the kids and whatnot. My son's always been a really quiet, laid back kid. And so to be around a bunch of kids, I was always, oh my God, I got to get out of here. So I was not a babysitter. Not very often, put it that way. And it's been many years, and I probably wouldn't have babysat for him either, being a baby, just because I wasn't used to it. But now that I've been around him and everything, he is perfect for me. But he's also 2.5. You know, he can get up and walk around and whatnot. And I had to change his diaper the other day, and of course he went number 2. And I'm like, ho. And my son is sitting there watching me, and I say, I don't know if I'm cut out for this whole babysitting thing when they're not potty trained. He says, and you are in a rush to have a grandchild, Ma? My own, because my other ones are my husband's kids, but they're still our grandkids, But I've never had to change their diapers either, because they don't live here. And I said, yeah, it's probably a little different when it's your own, but still, no, you change that diaper. I'll play with him or her, and spoil him. But yeah, so there's that. I have it, but this child is so funny. I mean, the things, he's into this thing where he'll come up like he's going to kiss you, and he'll lick you instead. I'm like, where did you get that? And probably me, because I did it to him one day, and he's like, ew. Yeah. And he wants in my pool so bad. So lately, I've been letting him put his feet in, and he's good. I tell him, do not go in that pool. And of course, I sit right there with him. I'm pointing because it's right there. He'll sit there, and he'll bend over and put his hands in the water. And, it's only literally me being so close that I can snatch him, his arm, whatever, if he went head first, because the ladder's there. He's sitting on the deck with his feet on the top step of the ladder. Sometimes he tries to push it, and he leans over, and because he did last year in the pool while we were in the pool, and I was just standing at the bottom of the ladder, and he leaned over and wanted to grab the side of the pool in between the ladder and went right down. And I snatched him and brought him up, and he's like, didn't cry, nothing. That kid is not afraid of water. So when he's here, somebody is always to be out here, because he would jump in that water without a second thought. And I was there to grab him up out of it last year. Well, all 3 of us were. His mom and aunt were standing right on the other side of him, but they were both looking the opposite way because I was watching him. So, this, just anything could happen. Anything. 2 seconds. I mean, look, when I'm cooking, I turn around and everything's all over the place, which is why I tell you, don't cook stuff like that with kids around, because anything could happen. When I did that with the oil, I was like, thank you, Lord, that when I ran over to the sink with that pan of oil just gushing over, that it didn't hit my bare feet, because I had bare feet that night. That would have gave me 3rd-degree burns on the top of my feet. So can you imagine a child? Oh, no. Mm-mm. And when he's here and I'm cooking, I'm like, stand back, honey. This is very hot. So I'll make him walk away. So anyway, that's me. that's what's going on. I'm really disappointed that I did that whole thing and I couldn't show you guys. But if you need to know, just go back, watch one of the other videos because it's the same process. But I really was glad with the whole chip in the top that happened to show you that can happen. You know, and I didn't see it or feel it when I watched that. And then, you know, so it's real important to check on that stuff. So anyway, I'm going to let you go. My timer should be going off here shortly. What are we at? We're at 20 minutes. Let me just make sure that time is not going off now. Pretty sure I started. No, we have 10 more minutes, so we're good. So anyway, friends, I think I'm going to grab some lunch and enjoy a relaxing afternoon. This is all one video, so I can literally just pop this right. Oh no, because I wanted to show you some of the other. I'll just pop this video up. I told you everything going on, so there's nothing else for that. Yeah, so there's no sense in putting clips in. Maybe I'll put a picture or something of my jars at the end. I don't know. Or maybe I'll try to fix that and just voice over it because I know what I said. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I really appreciate you guys. I'm surprised my videos are doing well. I guess, I don't know. I think of what I would like to see, and that's what I try to do. You know, something easy enough that anybody could do, because not everybody's a baker, you know, or cook. So to put out easy enough recipes that anybody could just turn that video on and do what you're doing, you know, and put out a nice meal and enjoy it. That's what I try to look for. Nothing too difficult, or, you know, not everybody has the same tools you have, whatever. So I do the best I can, and I hope you guys are enjoying them. I know there's a few of you. Joanne, I do have to mention you again. You are a hoot. On the video, what was it? I think it was last night. Was it the casserole? And you said, "I'm so glad you heard me say, put some sour cream on." And I did. That was funny. That was just too funny, but it was really good too. That would be good with my ugly chicken too. And again, I don't know if I said it on the video, but I think that would be phenomenal with black beans or even kidney beans. I definitely would change the onions though, because I wasn't fond of the red onions. And then maybe if they were cooked already. And it's not that they had the crisp, it just had that flavor. And I really like sweet sauteed onions. So no big deal. I still ate it. As a matter of fact, I might go in and have some more of it for lunch today. And you could even eat that with chips. Seriously, you know, break it up a little bit, because there's not so much cornbread in there that you're eating bread, chips and bread. You know, it just firmed it up a little bit. Maybe because I did a half a thing of cornbread, but really it's about the same as the box in the recipe that I had given you. Makes about the same. So anyway, you guys do what you like. You can take any recipe I put out there and make it your own. Use a different meat if you want to. Just about any recipe. Obviously can't do a roasted chicken with a half a cow. So anyway, all right, I'm going to go. That's going to go off. I'm going to get my lunch ready and put this up for you guys. And maybe I'll show you what I do with my pizza things if I do anything different. because I'm not cooking dinner tonight. It's going to be the pizza that we're having. So I'm not cooking. So you guys have a great weekend. I hope you have beautiful weather like we do right now, and it gets nicer. And I will be chatting with you again soon. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for being here.